Alright, hello everyone, it is silverkyle, and today I'm going to be going over a bit of my backlog of things that I want to complete by the end of 2019. Now, there's a lot of material here, and I don't think I'm going to complete all of this by the end of the year, which is like less than 2 months at this point. I really don't think this is going to happen. However, having so much material to cover and a variety will hopefully help me when I feel like I'm not really gaining any traction in something, or I'm like, I'm not moving forward. Let's move on to something else, or I'm bored of this. Let's go on to something else. Hopefully having different options will help with that. We'll see how this goes. I do think that I could probably complete at least half of this if I stay motivated throughout this entire thing. So I've got video games, regular novels, manga, and comic books in the form of trade paperbacks and omnibus as well. This is a lot of material to cover, but I'm hoping that I can continue this. So, let's start off with the video games first, and that is, it's all Switch games, just by chance. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order. I picked this because I'm pretty much at the end here, and that's one of the thing here is that I have started quite a few of these, so I just got to keep going, right? And this one I put because, first of all, I love the game, and also because if I beat this, it'll probably motivate me to keep going. When you have one small achievement and you get that achievement, it motivates you to keep going and getting more achievements and completing more of your goals. It's a true thing. Apparently, if you like brush your teeth, if you're not motivated to do something, like you don't want to clean or something like that, or there's something that you have to work on, do something small like brushing your teeth, because it's you're still helping yourself and improving yourself, and just accomplishing that, making your bed. A lot of people say that for making your bed really pushes you and keeps you going. I don't like making my bed, so I just brush my teeth instead, because I feel that that's overall better for my health, because I like clean teeth. But I hate making my bed. Brushing my teeth is a lot easier. That's what I'm getting to. Anyway, do that, and usually that springs you forward to keep doing other stuff. So that's why I have a short game here, because I'm near the end. Next up is The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. I have not tried this at all yet, so I need to play this. And it's a relatively short game too, which I like. So I can hopefully beat Marvel Ultimate Alliance, move on to Zelda, beat that within, I think it's like 10, 12 hours or something, and then move on to a crazy long game. But I do do very much enjoy it as well. And that is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I really need to beat this. I really need to push myself and play, I think, 80 hours or something, like 80 to 100 hours. That's going to be a long game. Let's talk about so that's the only 3 video games that I really want to beat. I am also currently playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I guess the reboot is what it is, on PC, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm not really playing the campaign at all. I'm just playing with multiplayer because it's cross-platform, so I already have a group of 4 other people that I'm playing with, but I know, I think I know 10 more people, but at one point we were playing 5 in total, myself and 4 other people, and it was a crazy amount of fun. One of my friends, actually, as we're playing this and killing people, he's like, "Can I just say something, guys?" So I was like, "Yes." And he waited a little bit longer, and he's just like, "I'm so happy we're playing this." The guy said that he's very wholesome, and he's just an awesome guy. But it was just really funny when he said that. All right, moving on. That's video games. The 2 novels that I want to finish are R.A. Salvatore's Servant of the Shard, which is the first book in the Cell Swords series. Now, this is basically book, I think, 14 or 15 or something like that, of the Legend of Drizzt. So Drizzt Do'Urden, which is from Dungeons & Dragons. They made novels of Dungeons & Dragons. Drizzt is probably the most popular one, other than Elminster, although Drizzt is probably way more popular than he is. And this deals with Artemis Entreri. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I have no idea. This is his kind of standalone series, but he's always been in the Drizzt series as well. He's an assassin, and he's always been the antagonist a lot of the time. He's the exact opposite of Drizzt Do'Urden, but he's starting to change as he gets older, and it's really interesting. And I really want to finish this book so I can continue on with that series, because I think there was 35 or 40 books in that series. I want to read them all, but it's going to take a while. So, continue on with this one. I have started it. You can see that I've started just a little beginning of it there. And I need to keep going. Next up is one that I just recently picked up as well. My aunt pretty much passed me like, I don't know, 20 books or something like that. And this is Just One Look by Harlan Coben. Never read anything from this author before, and it's a mystery, thrillerish kind of novel. Basically, there's a picture of a this woman's husband from like 20 years ago or something like that, and she asks him about it, and he kind of freaks out at the time, and then he leaves, and then she can't find him anymore. So that's pretty much what's happened so far, and I really want to know where the heck this is all going. It's not bad, though. It does feel a little bit dated. I mean, it's only, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years old, but it does feel, the way that they're talking does feel a little bit dated, just the way that, I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, I'm surprised that I was like, oh, this is a fairly recent book, and it already feels a little bit dated. 2004, so yeah. Alright, manga. The only manga book that I really want to finish. I will want to read eventually all of Death Note, but I don't have all of Death Note, so right now I'm like, I have enough books that I'm reading. I want to finish the Colossal Edition of Attack on Titan Volume 1. And then I'll probably move on to Death Note. But for right now, I just want to work on Attack on Titan Volume 1. I'm moving around everything in such weird orders because there's just too much weight if I put it on one side. Next up, I really want to read the Infinity War Omnibus that I picked up not too long ago. I will still be doing an overview of that very soon. But to get to that, I have read Infinity Gauntlet, and I'm going to read it again. And if you... I don't know if it's all there, but yeah. If you want to read the Infinity Gauntlet, this is one of the first trade paperbacks that they recommend reading, which is Avengers vs. Thanos, which collects Iron Man 55, Captain Marvel 25 to 33. Wow, that's a lot of Captain Marvel. Marvel Feature 12, Daredevil 105 to 107, Avengers 125, Warlock 9 to 11 and 15, Avengers Annual number 7, Marvel 2-in-1 Annual 2, and material from Logan's Run number 6. So quite a bit of content here, and I think it's just basically all the first introductions of Thanos, and I think that that's where we first see Thanos is in the Iron Man number 55. So I just basically want to go through all of this, and they kind of recommend, they have like a reading order within these books. I like that they do that with the trade paperbacks. They kind of show you, okay, start, if you want to read this, start here, then move on to that, then move on to Infinity Gauntlet, and then in the back, they have the rest of it afterwards. So I have a few of the first books. So I have the Avengers vs. Thanos, which is the first one. I'm going to put that to the side there. Then it is the Silver Surfer, which is Rebirth of Thanos. Then we go to the one that I have read already, Infinity Gauntlet 1 to 6. Very much enjoyed that. I would love to have the omnibus of that, Infinity Gauntlet. They had an Infinity omnibus that came out, I think, this year, around the time that Infinity War came out as well. And I think there was a Thanos omnibus. And I would have liked to have gotten the Infinity omnibus, which had Infinity Gauntlet and the Hickman Infinity. But it collected a lot of like Avengers and New Avengers, I believe, which I would technically get in their own separate ones. It's really weird that they put Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity together, because they're, I don't know, Infinity Gauntlet's what, like the early 90s, and Infinity was just a few years ago, so it's really weird how they included that. I'd much prefer to just get the Infinity Gauntlet omnibus, but that's out of print at the moment. I'm hoping in a few... It was so weird! With Infinity War the movie and Endgame, you'd think that they'd have worked on putting those out, but they haven't. And instead we got Infinity and Infinity War. I'm glad we got the Infinity War omnibus, but... No. Anyway, then we have Infinity Gauntlet Aftermath, which is collecting Silver Surfer 60 to 66, Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme 36, Warlock and the Infinity Watch number 1 to 6, and Silver Surfer Annual number 5. So there we go with that. And then I can finally move on to, let's switch spots with this, Infinity War. This massive, gigantic omnibus, which is like what? I think it's over 1,300 pages. I can't remember exactly how many pages it is, but This thing is just massive, and I've never read any. Well, I've read bits and pieces because I remember seeing some of this material before, like Wolverine versus the Doppelganger Wolverine, Spider-Man versus Doppelganger Spider-Man, or I guess he's just called Doppelganger. I can't say it anymore. Doppelganger. I don't even know where I'd see that. But anyway, can't wait to start this. Hopefully, I can start this before the end of this year. Next up is the horribly bound Batman by Snyder and Capullo Omnibus Volume 1. What I've done is I've tried to push. Basically, I had a really long kitchen knife that I pushed through between the spine and the actual cover itself, and kind of tried to elevate it. It worked a little bit. I don't necessarily recommend everybody trying that. I don't know how well it'll work. It helped a little bit, but for the most part, I mean, yeah, it's laying flat now. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still not giving me like a really good eye or anything. You can kind of see it's so there is some gutter loss. It's unfortunate because this is such man, I was so looking forward to this. I mean, I'm still happy I have it. I just wish that I had a much better bound book. And last but not least is my first omnibus ever, which I only read half of, and then I kept getting other stuff at the time, is the Fantastic Four Volume 1. The whole thing that pretty much started it all, collecting Fantastic Four 1 to 30 and annual number 1. I love this omnibus. I would love if the second omnibus specifically was out of this one for Stanley and Kirby, but because that has Galactus and it has the introduction of Galactus and Silver Surfer and all that kind of stuff. And I've heard that I think when Galactus shows up, that's some of the best comics in terms of Fantastic Four. So, arguably anyway. So I would really love to have that. I would obviously love to have Volume 3 as well back in print, but I would take Volume 2 right now to continue this run and go from there. Okay, my goodness. That was a little flip-flopping back and forth. And I'm not done. I keep doing it. So thank you all for watching. I'm hoping that I get through at least half of this content. Wish me luck. So thank you all for watching. You've been bearded in. Beardage!